What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's Tsglive. Just wanted to kind of touch on where the WNBA is at currently. The Minnesota Lynx have punched in their spot into the playoffs. We knew that. I mean, personally, I think they're going to the finals. The Dallas Wings have regressed. I thought that they were going to be within the top four. But right now, and the Golden State Valkyries have excelled, in my opinion. They're number two. The Las Vegas Aces at three, Fever at four, Dream at five, Misses at six. With the Dallas Wings falling back as they've been, it really opens up the door for a lot of teams to get into really good positions. The Golden State Valkyries being second is awesome for them. Let's break it down by conference. That 1, 2, 3 for the Western Conference, Lynx, Golden State, and Las Vegas. I really think that that's like three of the final four teams, and it's gonna be weird because you can't have that. But someone on the East Coast obviously is going to have to move forward. But I just think that those are the top three best teams in the league. The Dallas Wings definitely have the potential to be there. I personally, at a certain point, I felt that the Dallas Wings were better than the Dream, were better than the Mystics, and were better than the Indiana Fever. But ever since All Star break, they have not been playing very good basketball. There's been a lot of losses. They've been very shrieky. Page has been, I don't want to say regressing, but look at this. Look, like, you can see this. Look at this. They beat the Tempo, but they lost to the Lynx. They lost to the Valkyries. They lost to the Mystics. They beat the Suns. They lost to the Mystics. They lost to the Dream. They beat the Fire. They lost to the Liberty. They have lost to every team that it mattered beating. Losing to the Mystics twice is terrible. They beat the Suns and you beat the Tempo. The Tempo injury, and they're even playing better. But they're still injury ridden. Marina's battling a neck injury. She's getting beat up every game, and they're just trying to, pretty much get through the season. The Suns, I think, have the worst record in the league, if I'm correct. Um, it's that doesn't fare well. Yeah, like, I mean, the only and it sucks for Seattle. It really sucks for Seattle because they're eliminated from the playoffs, and it shouldn't be this way. They're a 7 in 2018, but I expect them to completely turn it around and be a top 8, top 6 team next year. They have everything that you need to do it. Flage's first year, I think they do need a little bit more guard play. Natasha Heidemann is not as consistent to be like the leader of this team offensively. I think she can play Robin, but I don't think that she can. And I really don't mean this no way. I love Natasha Heidemann. Like, bro, you're cool. I mean, we locked in. I love you and Court. I'm just saying for this team, but it's just I don't think they need more. They definitely need more. Or Flage needs to come more into her own, which is very much possible. And you know, Natasha Heidemann could sort of back Flage up. You have Dominique Malunga, Awad Fam, Lizzie. It's just they have the right players. They have a lot of youth. I think that there's a bright future for Seattle, but they are eliminated from the playoffs. But it's like the Wings are only you got wins on the bottom two teams in the league. That is not anything to support or believe in going into the playoffs. That's not good going into the playoffs. And I don't know if it's their coach. I'm really trying to figure out exactly what it is. But the Wings dropping down to seventh because of all of those losses recently. Like, they were up here. So now it's just I don't know if in a series that they have anything. I don't know if they have anything for a team in a series, and that is really the problem. That is very much the problem. 4 of 6 of their last 10. And before then it was 3 of 7 of their last 10. So the Mystics 7-3 in their last 10. The Dreams 7-3 in their last 10. The Fever 7-3 in their last 10. A lot of these teams are turning it on and turning it around. Even the Liberty 7-3 of their last 10. I can see the Dallas Wings dropping to 8th, possibly out of the playoffs, possibly, which is crazy to say, but it's possible. They're 7.5 games back, and the only reason why they probably won't drop out of playoff contention is because the Portland Fire are 14 games back. If there was any team that was slightly competitive out of this bottom tier, they would be out of the playoffs for sure. For sure. Absolutely. The 7 wins that they got, it almost feels like, that team is gone. The 7 wins ahead that they are, it almost feels like it's gone because the Wings they really are playing basketball on the level of the Sparks, the Chicago Sky, and even the Phoenix Mercury. Like, they're playing on that level. They're not playing on the Fever, Aces, Valkyrie, Lynx level. And I think the Lynx are just easily running away with this. I think the Lynx getting a championship is like the easiest thing to see right now. They're 9-1 of their last 10. They're on a 3-game win streak. They're 14-5 at home. It's just 7 losses on the season. It's really interesting how this is gonna work out. And let's just get into the Eastern Conference because obviously the Chicago Sky are not. So these 4 are going to be the playoff teams, and these 4 are going to be the playoff teams. So if you're telling the Lynx have destroyed the Dallas Wings, they swept them this season. So if they have to play them in a series, I expect them to get annihilated. I can see the Aces beating the Valkyries, and that could leave us with the Lynx and the Aces in the Western Conference. I can see the Aces winning that, but I don't think they are. I think the Lynx are going to win that in a series, even though it's not as if the Aces don't have obviously the champion pedigree or the roster, with players like Joel Lloyd on the team still. But I just think the Lynx are on another level. And for the Eastern Conference, the Fever and the Liberty, I do think the Fever might be able to beat the Liberty in a series right now. The Liberty don't have much behind Jonquel Jones, Stewie, and Sabrina, honestly. And it's sad to see. But I do think they could beat them. Between the Mystic and the Dream, this may be the most exciting series to watch. Just between Shakira Austin, Angel Reese, Ryan Howard, Sonia Citron, Alicia Gray, Kiki Efron. Like that might be the most entertaining series to watch before we get to the conference finals. It's very hard for me to say who would win that. They're almost identical record wise. I think the Mystics are playing slightly better than the Dream right now. The Dream are turning it around, but Ryan Howard has just recently got out of her shooting slump. I don't know if they have enough depth. The Mystics seem to have enough depth, and they play as a team. Having 2 players in the paint like Kiki and Shakira, and then having Sonya on the outside, McMahon for defense. It's a lot that they have over there. Eastern Conference Finals could very easily be the Indiana Fever and the Washington Mystics. I think the Fever wins that series, and so we're looking at the Fever and the Lynx, the top 2 teams out of the East and the West, and I think the Lynx pummel them. I think Liv makes it a point to let it know she's the best player in the league. Yeah, but I think that would be very impressive. A good passing of the torch, maybe from the Liberty to the Fever. The Chicago Sky maybe will have something to say next year. Who knows? The Toronto Temple probably won't be ready next year. The Seattle Storm, I do think, will be ready next year. But I don't think any of these teams are ready to beat the Lynx, but the Aces. I don't think the Valkyries are tough enough to beat the Lynx in a series. I don't. Even if they were to beat the Aces, I just don't think the Valkyries can stick out a series with the Lynx. They don't have enough outside of Kia Stokes, Gabby Williams, and Veronica Burton. There are role players like Janelle and I believe it's Caitlin Chan, but I just the Lynx are just on another level. Keep saying it. That's just the best way to explain it. They're just on another level. I think with that being said, and we don't have much left in the schedule for the WNBA. I believe this is how many more weeks do we have? I think soon. I think maybe by the end of the month we'll be done. Yeah, I was gonna say at the end of the month, August 30th. So the end of August, this will be wrapped up. I think it's been great. I love this game on NBA TV. It's been a good season. I think that getting ready for the playoffs. I think that all of the the scope of the playoffs. I do hope that it goes the way that I just said for video sakes, but I do think that that is how things are lining up, and I think for the WNBA right now, it's been a really beautiful past 2 years, 3 years, just seeing it grow. Things like the Dream having Visor Night or Barbie Night, players having personalities and actually having fan bases behind them, bringing fan bases to these teams and bringing more notoriety to the WNBA. I think it's really awesome. I think it's just going to continue to go up. We have so many good players coming out of college, so many good female basketball players coming out of college that's going to really push this league to the next level. I cannot wait for Hannah Hidalgo to come out of Notre Dame and come to the Dub. That's going to be entertaining. I can't wait for Aaliyah Chavez to come out of Oklahoma. I've been watching her since high school. I can't wait for her to get into the Dub because that's going to be exciting. Malaysia Folly, I can't wait for her to come. It's just is there's a lot of excitement that is yet to even come to the WNBA, and it's only going to make the next couple of years that much better. Team expansions coming up. Here in Philly, we're getting a team that's at 2030, so that's literally 3 years away pretty much now. And to just think like that'll open up the playoffs, that it will be more than just 4 teams from each conference. Then we'll eventually have 6 teams from each conference. So there's 3 series. It's like it adds more of a possibility. I like that because right now it's very easy to just see. But with that, I just wanted to touch base on where we were at and really just get a good idea of like how the rest of the season is gonna go. We don't have that many games left. Like if we scroll through, this is the rest of the season right here. Boom. Almost, I think, because I'm pretty sure we have games after that, right? Yeah. That's almost the whole season, but still, it's only a couple of days following, the 19th. So it's just we're gonna see. I'm gonna keep my eye on these televised games because I do think that those are gonna be very important games. Atlanta and Indiana, Phoenix and Portland. Let's see what else we have. Indiana, Toronto, Las Vegas, Atlanta. I'm gonna keep my eyes on those games because I think they are important games. But with that, I appreciate you watching. If you have watched this long in the video, please drop a like, drop a comment of who you think is gonna make the playoffs. Drop a comment of what you think about the Dallas Wings. If you have any comments on the Dallas Wings, if you think maybe I'm just tripping and I'm over analyzing the situation with them, but it helps every single video. Again, it's TSG Live. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you watching this long. We out.